a comfortable spot on your mat just to begin and give yourself a moment to arrive here in this beautiful moment, a beautiful moment in time, this Saturday. Just giving yourself a few moments to settle in, to find your grounding, to come back into your body. Notice your sit bones upon the block or the earth. Ideally, your hips will be above your knees. And take a minute to set yourself up well. Tilt your pelvis forward, stack your spine all the way up towards the sky. Reach the crown of the head, tall, tall, tall. Take a huge inhale. And an exhale, drop your shoulders. Let the breath go. And notice where your hands have landed on your thighs. Decide if you would like them face up or face down. What feels right to you? And the spirit of today's class is going to be about release and exploring release, allowing release, enjoying release. Releasing all of the things that you would like to release. Taking a little bit of time to notice what they are. In the busyness of our day, we often even don't know what we want to release. And those things may be thoughts, emotions, old stories, and tight spots in your body. And often we hold all of those emotions and thoughts in the tight spots. And so as we move through class today, just drawing attention to those tight spots, knowing that when we bathe them with compassion and acceptance and seeing, that's when the release can happen. Release is not a forced thing, it's a relaxed thing. And so getting ourselves into more of a relaxed, calm, and present mindset will help you release and let go, whether it's a tight muscle and discomfort, or a thought or a story or something, belief you've been attached to for a long time that maybe you don't want or need anymore. So take another inhale in that spirit, just bathing your body with the breath, the fresh air, and a huge exhale, already releasing and letting go on the out breath. Another huge inhale through your nose. Fill yourself all the way up, bathing every cell, every nook and cranny, every tight spot with the breath. Fill it up all the way, full, full, full. And a huge letting go, release breath. And pause for a moment here. Notice how you feel already. Perhaps a slight shift. Taking another smooth inhale, just to the count of 4, in through your nose. Pause for 4. And breathe out for 4. Pause for 4. Smooth, equal inhale, exhale. Inhale for 4. Pause for 4. And exhale for 4. And then let your breathing go back to normal. It's normal cadence and rhythm. And notice how you feel. Bring the hand to heart and the other hand to top. Press the heel of that hand into the heart space. Notice the palm of the top hand on the dorsum of the bottom hand. All of that skin to skin connection. Lessening the cortisol and the saliva over time, sending yourself oxytocin, kindness, and compassion. And taking a moment here to pause. To pause and notice. Take this opportunity to notice, what might you want to release or let go? Is there something circulating around you that's just annoying or angsty or heavy that would feel better to have it gone? Not as an agenda, but just as a gift, as an offering to yourself. And take in an inhale, sealing in whatever it was that came up, even if you don't know why, just let it be. And an exhale, let it go. Bring your hands to heart center and pause there. Palms together, every finger pad touching. Rub each finger pad against the other. Press your thumbs into your sternum, elbows out wide. And set an intention for today's practice. Perhaps to release, to let go. Perhaps something that you've been holding on to that maybe you just want to let go. Maybe you can't release it totally, or maybe you can. Just an invitation to play with it. Bathe it with compassion, see it, allow it, soften. And as you relax, use the breath and use the stretch to release whatever it is that needs to be released, wants to be released. What might that look like for you? A huge inhale, setting that intention, sealing it in. And an exhale, letting it go. And lower your hands to your thighs and open your eyes, giving yourself a moment to accommodate. Knowing that when we jump in too quickly, nothing gets released. We just move forward with push and stress. And so release is something that happens in the relaxation, in the softness, in the stretch. Focus on your belly here, belly button. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Clasp your fingers together, interlace them, flip the palms up towards the sky, shimmy your elbows behind you. Take a moment to connect those sit bones downward fully. Stretch your palms up towards the sky. Take an inhale, press the palms up as high as you can. And exhale, release with the breath. Just a slight nudge to get things started. Huge inhale, reach your palms high, 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 high. Press as high as you can. Shimmy your elbows back slightly behind your shoulders. Reach high, high, high. Exhale, round forward. Suck your navel back towards the back wall or the back of the mat or the back of wherever you are in this beautiful world, sitting outside. Head comes forward. Notice the release in the back as you fold forward. Allow your head and neck to release towards the floor and let go here. Take an inhale here into every nook and cranny. Exhale, press your palms forward, release as you're folded forward here. Inhale, reach up towards the sky, slight arch, reach the palms towards the sky, tall as you can. Inhale, stretch the side bodies. Exhale, round forward, release, let go. On the out breath. Inhale, reach up towards the sky once again. Exhale, open your arms towards the side walls, flex your wrists, press your palms into the side walls, stretch your fingers wide, everything engaged here. Pinch the scapula. Exhale, release. Pinch the scapula again, tight, 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 tight. Fingers stretched wide, everything tight and intense. Exhale, release the scapula, release your fingers. Spread your fingers wide. Wrists can stay flat. Release things out through those fingertips. Relax them. Point your fingertips towards the sky, wrists flexed fully. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop your fingertips towards the earth. Inhale, reach them up towards the sky. Exhale, drop them towards the earth. Bring them back to neutral. Turn your neck to face the right hand. Slowly and gently. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, turn your gaze to the left and just notice. Come back to center. Drop your chin to your chest. Notice the release. Inhale, come back to center. Look up towards the sky, gently moving your neck. If it hurts your neck, don't do it. Bring your neck back to center. Lower your hands by your sides. Roll your shoulders as a release, undoing some of that built up tension and heat in the arms. Roll them in the opposite direction. Once again, draw your attention to your belly. Set yourself up well for releasing and letting go. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Take your thumbs, clasp them together. Spread your fingers wide, wide, wide. Take an inhale, reach your fingers and your thumbs up towards the sky and pull the thumbs in opposite directions, noticing what happens in the upper back here. Take an inhale, exhale, tug them and bring them back behind your head slightly if you can on the exhale. Inhale, reach tall, stretch all the fingers wide, maybe wiggle the fingers. Exhale, tug those thumbs together. Notice what's happening in the scapula and enjoy it. One more breath here. Belly fully engaged, spine long, side body stretched, tall, tall, tall. Exhale, lower your arms once again out towards the side walls. Press the palms into the side walls, pinch your scapula tight, tight, tight. And with intention, release. Wrap your arms in front, right elbow under the left, clasp your hands together, coming into eagle arms, another release. Inhale, lift your elbows to shoulder height and pause on the exhale here. Slow and steady, not pushing any release. Inhale once again, lift your elbows up an inch. Elbows come down to shoulder height on the exhale. Inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, lower to shoulder height. Notice the warmth of the release, the feeling good and the stress. Release is not always easy. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop your elbows into your belly. Allow your head and neck to fold forward and release, and allow everything in the back to soften. Huge inhale here into every nook and cranny, bathing it with oxygen and seeing what's there in any tight spots. What might you be holding on to? Exhale, let it go. Inhale, elbows come back up to shoulder height. Untangle your arms, press them into the side walls once again. Lower them down and roll out, softening into the release. When there's too much tension, no release happens. Realizing that you need that softness, that calm, those pauses to allow it. When we push it, nothing goes. Raise your arms once again back up to the side walls. Flex your wrists, fingers reach towards the sky. Wrap your arms in front. Once again, left elbow under right this time. Raise the elbows to shoulder height. Interlace your thumbs or your fingers, palms together, whatever works for your ego. We're all different. Take an inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up an inch. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up another inch. Exhale, lower to shoulder height. Just notice all the release. Draw your attention to the spots that are releasing. And as they release, is there anything else inside, an emotion that you'd like to let go with it? Perhaps frustration. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your elbows into the crook between the navel and your chest. Allow your head and neck to release. And notice all the letting go in the lower back. Just a softening. Easy and kind. Huge inhale into your chest. Bathing every nook and cranny. And exhale, release. Calm, gentle, soft. Raise your elbows up to shoulder height. Untangle your arms, stretch them wide towards the sides, and lower them down. Roll your shoulders once again, enjoying it. Letting the release integrate as you roll and soften, noticing that there's time to adjust, time to transition or accommodate, even in each little cell as it releases. And just take a moment to notice how you feel before we move on. Huge inhale and exhale. If you are sitting on a block or a bolster, go ahead and take it out. We're going to come to sit up on our knees to start. Knees are hips width. If you need to pad your knees with a blanket, go ahead and do that. Have your feet directly in line behind you, not splayed out to the side, not touching, directly in line with the knees. Bring your hands to your hips, your upper butt behind you. Draw your elbows behind you. Take an inhale into your chest, engage your belly, and stretch up tall. Exhale, release. Draw your elbows towards one another. Inhale, stretch up tall. Exhale, if it feels good, slight arch back, look up towards the sky. Heart opens, throat opens, elbows connect. Take a breath in here with your heart fully open in a easy camel pose. Exhale, let it go. Bring your chin back to your chest. Release your hands down by your sides. We're going to sit back towards our heels. Start by curling your toes underneath. We're going to come into broken toe pose, which is one of the biggest release poses. As you lean back towards your heels, take a moment to use your fingers and tuck all your toes so they are spread wide on the mat. even those little baby toes. And as you lean back, you'll notice a stretching in your toes and in your feet. We carry a lot of tension and things that need to be released in your feet. You'll notice the release in all these little pockets. Allow the release. Try not to resist it. If it becomes too much, lift up off your heels with your butt, and you can lower down when you're ready. Just take a moment and notice how it feels. While you're here, bring your palms together at heart center. Press your thumbs into the sternum and every finger together. Close your eyes and envision something you'd like to release out through that energy in the toes as they're waking up. Your feet are waking up, lots of energy and sensation shifting. Let that energy carry the release, the things you want to let go. Just send it right in there, right through the heart space, right through your thumbs. Take in an inhale and an exhale, let it go. Lift up off your heels, drop your hands forward. We'll come into hands and knees and bang those feet out. Enjoy that release and have fun with it. Banging whatever you like into the mat for fun. Really play with it, enjoy it. Drop back into child's pose. Knees can stay together and toes together or knees apart, whatever you like, whatever feels good. Walk your fingers long, long, long in front of you, as far in front of you as you can. Release your hips down and low towards your heels. Lower the forehead onto the earth. Huge inhale here into the upper shoulders, armpits. Breathe into it. And an exhale, let it go. 2 breaths here, just to release whatever comes up. In this moment, you may notice a lot of energetic shifts in your feet and your ankles as they've woken up from that broken toe. You may wish to wiggle them. Walk your hands towards the right. If it works for you, place the left palm on top of the dorsal of the right hand and gaze gently under the right armpit. Breathe into the left side body. Exhale, release out under that armpit, whatever you wish. It's kind of a stealthy release. One more breath here. Stretch the left hand a little farther forward and a little farther to the right. Exhale it out under the right armpit. Walk your hands back to center. And then walk them to the left. Right arm atop, right hand atop the dorsum of the left hand. Gaze a little bit under that left armpit. Same thing. Breathe into every nook and cranny of the right side body. Stretch the right fingers far in front. Exhale, breathe it out under the left armpit. One more breath here. Exhale, let it go. Walk back to center. Press back up into tabletop, pardon me. Hands will be directly under your knees, under your shoulders, that would be a trick. Knees directly under your hips. Spread your fingers wide, wide, wide. Use the fingers to release as well. Press all 10 knuckles onto the earth. Engage your palms, arms engaged, humeral heads into the shoulder sockets. Engage your belly. Knees connect to the earth, tops of the feet connect to the earth. Inhale, arch up into cow pose. Release the front body and the lower back. Reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Exhale, round into cat. Drop your head and neck. Notice what happens here. Inhale into cow pose, stretching everything with kindness. Rolling, enjoying. Exhale into seated cat. Into cat. One more. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale into cat. Reach high, high, high towards the sky. Come back to neutral and pause. Stretch your right leg long behind you, toes on the earth. Shift your weight into your hands. Move towards the toe of that right foot and rock backwards. Release the leg and the calf kindly, gently, rocking, enjoying. Notice how it feels. And pause in stillness in the center. ground into your hands, engage your arms, and gently engage your belly. Lift up your left knee an inch off the floor, waking everything up here in the center. Hold it for one breath, and exhale, lower it down. Notice how you feel. Drop your right heel to the floor. You can kickstand your left foot out if you wish, or leave it in line. Raise your right arm up towards the sky, coming into gate pose. Take an inhale here. Reach those right fingers high, high, high. Stretch through the whole right side body. Exhale, lower the right arm gracefully over the right ear. Lengthen the whole right side body. Release everything there. Outer edge of the right foot connects to the earth. Stretch long through the right fingers. Exhale, release. Engage your belly. If you wish, raise your right foot up towards hip height into a balance pose. Notice what's required here. Flex your ankles, hold the foot, reaches towards the back. Notice the wiggles and wobbles, have fun with them. Inhale through every smidge of the right side body. Reach in every direction. Exhale, let it go. Lower the right foot down. Now, if you haven't kickstanded the left foot, do it slightly. Press into the left hand, engage your right side body, and rise up to standing. Not to standing, but upright. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky, arms reach in either direction. Drop your right hand to your right thigh, right knee. Stretch it down the right leg. Reach the left arm up over the left ear gracefully and stretch towards the right. Huge release in the left side body. Enjoy it. Huge inhale. In every nook and cranny, fill it up. Exhale, release. Roll back down. Left hand comes to the floor. Right hand comes to the floor. Come back to hands and knees. Even yourself out. Perhaps a quick cat-cow to undo any tightness in the spine. Notice what would feel good. Perhaps stirring the pot with your hips, doing big hip circle here. Give yourself a moment to release and integrate whatever happened in those poses. The transition and the integration is key. If we rush, we don't release. Stretch your fingers wide once again. Connect all 10 knuckles into the floor, both palms into the floor. Engage your arms. Stretch your left leg long behind you, toes on the earth. Rock forward and back. Release the foot, release the calf. Have fun rocking on the toes. It's fun. And when you're ready, come back to center. Connect your hands into the earth. Engage your arms. Connect the toes of the left foot onto the floor. Inhale, raise the right foot, right knee up off the floor, about 3 inches, 2 inches. Engage everything and hold it. Noticing your core waking up, your arms waking up. Perhaps creating a little tension to help you release. Lower down the right knee. Drop your left heel. Reach your left hand up towards the sky. Initially come into gate pose. Outer edge of the left foot connects to the earth. Belly is engaged. Left leg is strong. Left hand reaches towards the sky. Take an inhale. Release out through those left fingers everywhere. Spread the fingers wide. Exhale, lower the left arm gracefully over the left ear. Stretch the whole left side body. Breathe into every nook and cranny. And exhale, release, let it go. Once again, breathe into every nook and cranny. Exhale, let it go. Kickstand the right foot a little bit behind you. Engage your belly. Press off the right hand. Rise up. Crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Arms reach in opposite directions. Stretch your fingers wide. Pause here in the center. Getting your balance. Take an inhale. Drop your left hand down the left thigh towards the left knee. Reach your right arm gracefully over the right ear. Stretch it towards the left. Breathe into every nook and cranny of the right side body here. Enjoy it. Exhale, let it go. Once again, huge inhale. Stretch those right fingertips towards the left, opening every little muscle fiber, and release with the exhale. Lower your right hand back towards the earth. Bring the left hand, come back to hands and knees. Even yourself out, rock side to side on those hips. Walk your hands forward, a handprint, curl your toes, lift up to downward dog. Take a moment here to enjoy it. Whether you walk the dog, if that brings you the release you wish in your calves and your back of the legs, or press into your hands, reach your sit bones as high as you can, release the head and neck. Notice what feels good. What works for each person is slightly different. Press into your hands, engage the humeral heads into the shoulder sockets, reach your hips high, high, high. Lift up onto both tiptoes as high as you can. The tallest triangle mountain with your butt as high in the air as you can. Reach it high, lift up high on the tiptoes, everything engaged. Slowly lower your heels towards the floor. Notice the release in the back of the legs here. Enjoy it. Notice if you need to widen your stance or if it feels good exactly the way it is. Huge inhale. And then exhale, lion's breath, release. Stick your tongue out as far as you can and let the breath go. Huge inhale once again. And exhale, let it go. Walk your hands back about 2 handprints into a short downward dog. Widen your feet to the outer edges of the mat. See if you can press your heels towards the floor for a release. Left hand reaches for the right ankle, gaze under the right shoulder. Taking a huge inhale. You can bend the left knee if you need. And on the exhale, breathe it out under your armpit. Even if you don't know what you're breathing out, just breathe it out. Whatever pops up from that back leg, another huge breath here. Exhale, let it go. Bring your left hand back to the earth. Come back to center. Take your right hand, grab your left ankle, gaze under the left armpit. Enjoy the release here in this shorter downward dog. You should notice quite a bit. Bend the right knee if that feels good. It may intensify the stretch or not. Huge inhale. And exhale, breathe out. Whatever you feel like under that left elbow, maybe not even knowing what is there, just let it go. Bring your right hand back to the earth. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Keep your feet wide at the outer edges of the mat. Bend your knees, grasp your elbows, and release forward completely. Allow your head and neck to let go. Shoulders let go. Lift up all 10 toes. Ground the 4 corners of the feet into the earth and lower them down. Shift into your toes. Notice how the release changes. Shift back to your heels. Shift to the left and to the right. Find your center and pause in stillness here. 2 breaths in stillness, upside down. Feeling awake and alive and a little bit lighter. Untangle your elbows, bring your hands towards the earth, reclasp them at the sacrum. Press your elbows all the way back, straight your elbows, and allow your hands to release over your head and neck, coming into a full forward fold release. Notice the front of your shoulders. Send the breath there with kindness. Breath and pause and softness are necessary for relief. Breathe into every tight pocket here. Exhale, hands fall forward another smidge. Bend the right knee, twist towards, bend the right knee, twist towards the left, straight the left leg, and gaze goes towards the left. Release the front left shoulder. Breathe into it. And exhale, release. Come back to center. Bend the left knee, straight the right, twist to the right. Enjoy the release in the front of the right shoulder. Hands fall forward a little bit more. Enjoy it. Come back to center.
Allow the palms to fall forward a little bit more. A little more release. Noticing the edge of the release. When you push it too far, nothing releases. Where is it that it works for you? What is the body state in which it works for you? Does upside down help? Where you're not really able to pay too much attention and everything looks different? Bring your hands back to your sacrum. Run them down the backs of your thighs towards the earth. Engage your belly and roll up inch by inch by inch by inch, vertebrae by vertebrae, with intention, purposeful. Noticing that with each roll, a little something releases. And when you arrive, pause. No need to organize it. Just pause and enjoy. Take an inhale. Fully cleanse and exhale, let it go. Notice the blood flow shifts and perhaps like an hourglass, things shifting down through your hands, through your feet, letting go, releasing, opening, all of the things. Take a huge inhale here and an exhale. Open your arms out and up, reclasp them above your head. Flip the palms towards the sky. Elbows shimmy behind your ears. Stretch tall, tall, tall. Lengthen the side body. Ground the left foot into the earth. Exhale, tip to the right. Stretch the whole left side body with intention. Strong core. Inhale, come back to center. Reach the palms towards the sky. Exhale, tilt to the left. Stretch the whole right side body. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale. Inhale, stretch tall, release your hands. Exhale, twist to the right. Right hand comes behind you, left hand comes in front, engaged belly. Inhale, reach your arms up, twist back to center. Exhale, twist to the left, engage your belly, use every nook and cranny. Inhale, reach your arms up. Twist back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Lower the arms in either direction. Inhale, arms up. Twist back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, reach both arms up. Twist back to center. And pause here. Exhale, lower your arms by your sides. Roll your shoulders with intention. Release every nook and cranny there. Enjoy it. Roll them forward 3 times. Full, full, full. And pause. Palms open to the front. Spread your fingers wide. Lift your toes, lower them down. Tadasana, mountain pose. Notice what's happening here in the pause. Enjoy it. With intention, shrug your shoulders all the way up to your ears as high as you can. Pinch them back towards the back of the mat. Pinch the scapula together. Notice the tension. Exhale, release and lower. Notice how it feels. Pausing here. Being present. Enjoying every little sensation. And notice that as you pause and are present and soften, what's happening? Perhaps wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Huge inhale once again. And an exhale, let it go. Walk towards the top of your mat. Inhale your arms out and up towards the sky. Palms come together, slight arch back. Fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, spine straight. Sit bones stick back. Exhale, fold forward, release. Place your palms onto the earth, step back for plank pose, and pause here for a moment. Shift onto your tiptoes, bend your knees, untuck your toes, draw your elbows in towards you, and lower down chaturanga towards the earth. Third eye, forehead connects to the earth. Huge inhale, lift up to low cobra. Weight is out of your hands. Front of the sit bones presses into the earth. Exhale, lower down. Once again, inhale up into a low cobra. Release the back as you do so. Exhale, lower down. Walk your hands in front of you. Forearms will be in line with your shoulders. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. Spread your fingers wide on each hand. Both palms connect to the earth. Forearms connect to the earth. Back arches backwards slightly. Don't overdo it. You can stay low if you need to or higher. Do what works for you. Some of you may wish to press into your hands and lift up even higher. Notice what feels good for your back. Everybody's different. And our job in yoga is to listen to our body. Take a breath in. Notice the front of the hip bones on the earth, the front of the pelvis, the top of the feet. Fill that chest and that heart space with breath. Exhale, blow whatever you wish away. One more inhale in this Sphinx position. Exhale, let it go. Slowly walk your elbows back by your sides. We'll press back directly into child's pose here. Knees together, toes, knees apart, toes together. Reach your fingers long, long, long in front, releasing any tension in the back here. Wiggle your fingers as far forward as you can once again and drop your third eye onto the floor. Take a moment here to send your heart space some good wishes. Noticing if it's desperately holding on to something it does not want to release, or noticing that if the release just feels twangy, you feel a little edgy or a little uncomfortable, breathe into it, allowing that to be that way. Huge inhale, and exhale, let it go. One more huge inhale. And exhale, release, sink the hips back down and low. You may even wish to draw your elbows slightly closer to you so your hips can sink back and the groin can open a little bit more. When you're ready, press back up to downward dog. Curl your toes, reach the hips up towards the sky. Move slowly and kindly. Notice how you feel in downward dog now, perhaps very different than when we started, maybe the same. Take a moment to arrive here. Huge in-breath in through your nose. And an out-breath release. Ground the left ball of the foot into the earth. Engage your belly. Raise your right leg towards the sky. Bend to your knees, stack your hips. Roll the right ankle open. In both directions. Enjoy the release in the front of the hip. Notice how it feels, what's happening. Send the breath there. Straight the right leg. Exhale, bring it between your hands. Come into Anjaneyasana or low lunge. Back knee is on the earth. Walk the right toes far forward so that when you bend your knee, it does not extend beyond the ankle. Left knee is on the earth, top of the left foot is on the earth. Engage your belly, raise your arms up towards the sky. Big release in the front of the left hip. Inhale, reach tall. And exhale, sink in gently into that left hip. Breathe into it. Inhale, reach tall, 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 tall. And exhale, sink into it. One more breath. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, sink into it and just enjoy it. Big release. Lower your hands by your either side of your knee, foot. Straight the right knee. Come back into a half splits. Extend the right leg. Turn the right hip forward, left hip back a little bit. Right toes reach towards the sky. Breathe into the back of the right leg here. You can use blocks here if you have them, or just hands, fists on the floor. Breathe into it. One more breath. Walk your hands back towards the front, either side of your foot. Place the palms on the earth, untuck the back knee, come up into a high lunge. Left palm grounds onto the floor, twist to the right in an easy twist. Open the right heart space, reach towards the right hand. Back knee is straight and up in the air, right hip engaged. Breathe into any release here. Stretch those 5 fingers wide on the right hand, wide as you can. Open your hands, breathe into it. And exhale, release whatever pops up with the heart twisted in this way. Different things shift. One more breath here. Inhale, inhale. Into the heart space and exhale, release. Lower your right hand on the outside of the right foot. Drop your right heel towards the right side of the mat. Rise up, cartwheel your arms open into warrior 2. Take a minute to get your feet oriented correctly. The right foot jet lining towards the right front of the mat, left foot about 60 degrees, heels are heel to heel, arms extend in either direction. Bend the right knee over the right ankle, but not beyond. Take an inhale here. Exhale, sink into it gently. Another inhale. Exhale, drop your left hand down the left thigh, come into peaceful warrior, pop open the front ribs, the right hip. Release here, use the breath into every front corner of the right side body. Exhale, blow it out over the armpit. Come back to warrior 2. Lower your right forearm onto the right thigh, extend the left hand far forward, easy side angle pose, stretch the whole left side body. Breathe into every little pocket of release here. Exhale, let it go on the wind. Cartwheel back up to warrior 2. Raise your arms up towards the sky. Twist your torso towards the front. Lower your hands on either side of the right foot. Step the right foot back. Come directly to downward dog. Hips reach towards the sky. Head and neck release. Take a moment here to arrive. Notice how you feel. Huge inhale into the chest space. And exhale, release. Ground into the ball of the right foot. Raise your left leg towards the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip, roll the ankle in both directions. Re-square your hip. Gently bring your left foot between your hands. Come into low lunge or Anjaneyasana on this side. Engage your belly. Rise up. Both arms reach towards the sky. Reach tall, tall, tall. Tack the left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen towards the sky. Exhale, sink into the front of the right hip. If you need to protect your right knee, do that. Do what works for you. Nothing's making it easier. It's making it better for you. Inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, sink into the hips. 2 more breaths here. Lengthening on the inhale, releasing on the exhale. Lower your hands towards the floor, about where your knee is. Straight the left leg, come into a half splits on this side. Tuck your left hip back, right hip forward, reach your toes towards the sky. Allow the release here in the back of the left leg. If you wish, you can point your toes and stretch the shin as well. Reach the toes towards the floor. Flex them towards your nose. 2 more breaths here. Walk your hands forward, lower the sole of your foot towards the earth. Hands will come about at your heel. Curl your back toe, place your right palm on the earth. Twist to the left, easy twist. High lunge, back knee is off the earth. If you want to leave it on the earth, you can also do that. Notice what feels good to you. A couple breaths here.
Notice if your right shoulder's up in your ear and release it as well. Breathe into it. Stretch those left fingers tall in all directions, all 5 fingers spread wide, palms open. Breathe into this heart space. Exhale, let it go. One more breath here. Lower your left hands to the outside of the right foot. Drop your right heel onto the earth. Coming into warrior 2 feet, cartwheel up, arms go in either direction, bend the left knee. Warrior 2. Arms should be at equal heights, shoulder height in both. You may notice that you dump one or the other. Just pay attention. Take an inhale here. Exhale, gazes over the left middle finger, sink into your hips. Make sure your left knee is not extending beyond your left foot. Exhale, release. Drop your right hand on your right thigh. Reach your left hand up over the left ear gracefully. Peaceful warrior. Enjoy it. Release the front ribs, side body. Come back to warrior 2. Lower your left forearm onto the left thigh. Lightly. Reach your right arm over the right ear gracefully. Stretch the whole right side body. The outer edge of the right foot through your fingers. Breathe into every nook and cranny and enjoy it. Exhale, release and let go. One more deep, huge cleansing breath. Exhale, rise back up to warrior 2. Bring your hands to your hips. Straight your left knee. Turn your feet to line up with the sides of the mat. Hinge forward at the waist. Back is flat. Lower down in a wide angle forward fold. Fists can reach the floor. If you have a block and you prefer that, keep your back straight here. Notice the release in the backs of the legs, wherever you are. Walk your hands forward. Notice what happens. Breathe into it. Feet are engaged and stable. Legs are releasing. Huge inhale into those legs. Exhale, let it go. Walk your hands back directly under your shoulders. Bring your heels in to a second position, toes out. Bend your left knee. Walk your hands to the left side. Raise the right toes up in the air. Walk the hands back into the groin and rise up. Your back is flat. Look, gazes forward. Point those right toes. Flex those right toes. Sink into the hip a little bit more. Walk your hands back to center. Rise your hips back to center. Bend the right knee. Raise the left heel off the earth, coming into the position on this side. Left toes reach towards the sky. Left leg is straight. Lots of release in the legs and the groin. You can point that left toe if you wish. Flex it. Shift back to center. Legs both straight. Allow yourself to fold forward completely here. Allow your head and neck to drop. Turn your sides of the feet so they are in line with the mat once again. Some of you will need blocks. Some of you can bend forward. If you have high blood pressure, keep your head up a bit more. Breathe into the chest space. Releasing, letting go, changing perspective in this upside down position. Yoga is about shifting perspective, shifting energy. Use the energy to let go. There's a quote that if you can't fly in the sky unless you leave the ground. You can't feel lighter if you don't let go. If you keep all the old stuff, there's no room for the new stuff. Heel toe your feet towards the center slowly while you're folded forward. And allow your head and neck to release completely when your feet are hips width. Grasp your elbows, sway into your toes, into your heels, to the left and to the right. Find your center, your strength.
Lift up all 10 toes, lower them down. Release the clasp of your hands. Engage your belly and roll up inch by inch by inch by inch. Your head will be the last to rise. Enjoy the unfolding.
Give yourself a minute to arrive when you get there. 3 cleansing breaths. You don't need to organize your clothes or your body here. Just let it be. Notice the shifting, the releasing, the energy flowing down through you like an hourglass, the sand falling down towards the earth, out through your fingers. You can envision things going out through your fingers like sparkles. Huge inhale. And an exhale. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. Sending yourself some good wishes. Thanking yourself for a healthy practice thus far. And taking a moment to acknowledge and appreciate yourself for whatever has shifted and released thus far. When you're ready, we will transition down to a seat. Legs will be long in front. Take a moment to move the flesh of your seat out of the way and connect those ischial spines downward with strength. Tilt your pelvis forward, strong core, engaged, long and tall. When you support yourself well, it's much easier to release tension as well. Notice your spine aligned, vertebrae one atop the other the whole way up. Knees can be bent, ankles flexed, toes spread wide, belly engaged. Inhale both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward towards your toes, release the back. Press your knees towards the floor if you wish for more of a release. Notice what happens here. Big inhale once again. Exhale, release. Slowly walk up your shins to your knees, to your thighs to sit upright. Cross your legs. Let's do right knee atop. We're going to come into a double pigeon pose. For many of you, the right ankle will be in front of the left knee. If you can, you're going to pick up your right ankle, lift it atop the right knee. You want to bring your knees close together as you can, more like hips width than a wide cross-legged pose. You may notice that when you've picked up that right ankle and place it atop the left knee, there's a release happening in the right hip. This may be plenty for you. Some of you will leave your foot on the floor, and if this doesn't work for your knees at all, you can come into a reclining figure 4, or you can just opt out and rest for a moment. Take an inhale, sit up nice and tall here. Exhale, bring your hands onto the floor in front of you and walk them inch by inch to a spot that feels good to your hip and your knee, that stretches but doesn't snap. It's a release, but not too much. And this concept of stretching but not snapping is really fascinating. We often, as high achieving women, push ourselves until we snap. So stretching is good, but snapping is not good. And so can you stop in the spot that's before the snap? Or if you're trying to make a change, don't do it from a place of pushing. Do it from a place of ease and stretching and releasing and growing, but not snapping. So pigeon pose, I think, is one of those poses, whether it's seated or on the mat, facing forward, that release to that edge. So release to the edge, but notice when you go too far that you don't release at all, you just grip. So finding that spot between effort and ease, between release and tightening, that spot where things shift and move. One more breath into that outer right hip. Exhale, let it go. Walk back up to seated, untangle your legs, stretch them long in front. Move the flesh of your seat. Inhale, exhale for an easy integrating forward fold. Allow the legs to unwind, release your head and neck. Perhaps feeling very different than even before that pose.
Walk back up your shins to pigeon, double pigeon on the other side. You'll cross your knees, right ankle atop the left knee if that works, or in front. Some of you will just stay seated here. Notice when you tilt your pelvis forward that the release in the left hip happens. It just pops open and it's beautiful. Inhale right into it. If you wish, walk your hands on the floor in front, inch by inch, fold forward. Ooh, notice the release. Just breathe into the pockets of tightness with compassion. Those hips have helped you climb mountains, walk, get out of bed, get out of a chair. So send them some compassion and let them let go. Let them stop gripping. Notice that when things support you, they do so much better when they're not over tight, over gripping. We often talk in mindfulness about hands wide open rather than grasping. So giving your hips a chance to stop gripping and grasping. Support you fully from a place of ease and strength. Breathe into that hip with love, kindness, compassion. Bathe it with oxygen. Huge exhale. Cleansing, blowing it away. Walk your hands back to your shins. Sit upright. Untangle your legs. Stretch them long. Hang your knees out. Raise your arms to shoulder height and roll down inch by inch like pearls on a string to lie down. Take a moment to arrive, palms open to the sky. Draw your knees into your chest, release the back, roll side to side. Massage it, enjoy it. Bring your soles of your feet up towards the sky. Come into happy baby, flip the soles towards the sky, rock and release here. A fun release. It can be enjoyable as well. Press the knees towards the floor, open up the groin. Bring the soles of your feet together. Press your heels into your groin. Enjoy that release. Release your hands. Lower the soles of your feet to the floor. Knees are hips width. Bring your palms face down. Walk your heels towards your buttock. Press into your hands and your feet. Lift up to an easy bridge. Release the back body. Tuck your shoulders underneath. Hips high, 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 high. Knees energetically together, engaging everything in the back body. I will wake up before we rest. Lift it high. Everything engaged. Heart is open. Untuck your shoulders. Slowly lower your hips down. Walk your heels to the outer edge of the mat. Let your knees flop together. Raise your arms above you in an easy cactus pose. Drop your knees to the right. Left knee reaches towards the front of the mat. Release the left hip and exhaust. Breathe into it. Exhale, release. One more breath here. Breathe right into the front of the left hip with kindness and compassion. Exhale, let it go. Draw your knees back to center. Exhale, let them drop to the left. Right knee reaches towards the front of the left corner of the mat. Pop open the right hip and psoas. Release it. Bring your knees back to center. Bring your arms down by your sides and stretch your legs long in front. Coming into Shavasana or final resting pose. Flip your palms up towards the sky. And today, as part of Shavasana, we're going to entertain the idea of floating in the water. When we stop struggling, we float. When we let go of all the tension, resistance, and tightness, we float. And so as you lie here and sink in, take in a huge inhale. And on the exhale, imagine yourself doing a float, a deep float, whether you're in the Hawaiian waters or a float tank.
or have memories of learning to float as a child, giving yourself a few moments here to fully release and allowing yourself to just float on the surface of your mat or the water. Totally safe, totally held. Letting everything go.
Slowly start to deepen your breath. Gently play with wiggling fingers and toes, wakening them up. With a kindness and softness, reach your arms long above you and your toes long in front, as if you're waking up from a long nap. Take a huge inhale, stretching in either direction. Exhale, let it go. And I invite you to roll over to one side and pause for a moment in a fetal-like position. Taking a moment to check in, to integrate and accommodate to how you feel now. A moment to adjust to coming back to reality and life, and perhaps doing so intentionally, having let go of hopefully a little bit, or nudge something loose, getting ready to release it. There's no rush or hurry. And noticing that in this soft space, it's much easier to move energy, release, and let things go. So when you're ready, press into your hands and slowly rise up to a comfortable seat where we began. Easily connect those hips to the earth. Tilt your pelvis forward, stack your spine, reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Take in an inhale. Drop your shoulders on the exhale. A hand to heart, another hand to top. Thanking yourself for taking the time for you today, for giving yourself this opportunity to release and shift the energy and create space for things you'd like to bring in. Bring your palms together, finger pads touch, thumbs connect. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. Have a beautiful week, hopefully full of little tiny releases and letting go. And may you move forward with more lightness, more space, and more skip in your step.